Well, here we go. We've just arrived at a place called Paranella Park. We've just set our van up, got our chairs set up, and I've been here just watching this peaceful, beautiful bush and rainforests. We've certainly been through plenty of them. Paranella Park, we're doing a tour at 2:30 and you'll get some more photos and videos then. But till then it's lunchtime and then on with the tours of Paranella Park. This is where the Ulysses beautiful blue butterfly, there's hundreds of them flying around here. Bye for now.
It powers our whole park and the adjacent caravan park, and it was originally installed in 1933. It went out of order from the late 60s up till 2008-2009. So this is the state of affairs it's in now. It's working it's in a lovely way, it's very smooth, and some of the parts were replaced to make it more efficient, things like that you'll see. So again, if you want more information, that tour is good, but if you can't go on the tour, there is a board over there just around the railing here that tells you lots of information about the whole process, right from the early days up till our reinstallation of this system, so it's quite interesting. We have some old generators off on display under the cafe deck here as well, and some old parts. We're going to talk about this stuff soon, what is to do with this story. So this is a cement mixer here, and this is a scoop that Jose collected sand with as well, so stuff like that for his cement. So we're going to press on. Let's turn around and go straight down this path, please. Just follow. All right, we're going to keep our tour going really shortly here, folks. Once these folks all come, here we go. They're coming at anybody around the corner.
Wowee. Wow, wow, wow. No wonder he had hydroelectricity with the power of that. Okay, this is the fateful Paranella Park waterfall hydro system. Wow. I've got to go back on this tour, so I've got to shoot through. But no wonder they made their own electricity with the power of this. Look at it. Unbelievable. Gotta go.
All right, tour is continuing up here, folks. Please follow me if you like. All right, so. This lovely castle, this is the first of our two castles we have here. And you do see the original white paint there. That is how it was all painted in the old days. Nice Spanish white. Color coding the whole park all over the structures. So try to imagine that with me as you go through today. Up here we have our family cottage. It's now a fully functional museum though. So they lived there for many, many years, right from the 30s up till probably the last Paranella here in the 70s. So certainly was a lot of stories there and things. There is a lot of old pictures you can check out up there, from the inception of the park right up until the end of the Paranella tenure here. So it's quite interesting, as well as some old park artifacts. A very old set of film projection equipment, which was housed in the ballroom. 5+ years, it hasn't been many. They just wander up more by accident after a flood or something, and then they make their way down again. They don't like this area, it's too noisy for them. It's just not a good area for them to hang out. So no worries there. Yeah, just don't go swimming. Oh no, I'm gonna have a little chat here. Yeah. So all of you guys just came through Margarita's kitchen over there. That's what that was, you know, okay? And there she prepared fine Catalonian and Spanish fare for the guests. Right over there. On top of the kitchen, they would have had live music. They would have had live musicians and a piano for the daughter to play from time to time as well. Lots of live entertainment and activities going on. Bocce ball, lawn bowling out here, and this open court dancing. So Jose was, first and foremost, of course, he was a Catalonian, but then he was also a Spaniard. So dancing and Spanish-style music were something he was often interested in as well, of course.
Got your fish food, have you, little girl?
Yeah.
What are you feeding?
Oh, very hungry fish. I want to feed the turtles.
DRL, just for you. Turtles.
We can't get them turtles.
Oh,
You head on
I
that
got the
turtle.
turtles.
See the big turtle? And if you look over here, you'll see them on the log. Right across, if we can see them. See the turtles over there?
And then a crocodile comes.
There you go. No, they're not. How beautiful is this place? Don't fall in, lady, don't fall in.
I know.
Where's your turtle heads? There he is.
That one.
I got him. They eat the food too? Look at the turtle head.
Yeah, the turtles are.
There you go. Paranella
Oh,
turtle.
look. One has a red thing.
And the fish nearly come up out of the ground
One has a
again,
red
don't they?
thing. One has a red little nose.
Over here.
Video's going. Oh, wow. You feed the turtles too?
Oh, I can feed the turtles.
Sorry about that. There you go. Once more.
Okay, company.
Nearly come out of the water, don't they? These are some Queensland tree, but they're as straight as a die. Beautiful trees. Beautiful, beautiful trees, straight as a die.
See if you can
you need
do
to-
this.
And they go right up, right up, right up to the sky. How incredible is that? They're straight above my head. What a beautiful moon. This is so stunning. And look what we've got here, will you? Now there's one view and a half, folks. That is absolutely beautiful. And all that power is generated, the electricity to a light by that water. Nighttime falls at Paranella Park, and I'll leave you with a piece of the effect. see the waterfall at the background there, people? Waterfall in the background. Beautiful. You'll see the waterfall in the middle. Well folk, we've just arrived at Mission Beach, and this is the Hideaway Mission Beach Holiday Park. Looks like it's a beautiful, peaceful park. So we'll take off and explore Mission Beach very shortly. Well, we're actually down on Mission Beach, and that's a little cafe with a tent there. It's called Tuskers Fish and Chips, and they reckon they're absolutely beautiful. So Mum and I are going to try that later on, probably Sunday. And this is Mission Beach. Trust me, you can smell the salt. They don't have waves here, similar to your Mena at sometimes. They don't have waves much there either, but lovely big beach. And stretches all the way around. There's one of them rare birds again. A purple headpiece they wear, those birds. A couple of birds down there on the beach. Have a go at them all down that end. Let's see if I can zoom in. Look at the palm trees. How tropical is it? See, there's a lot of people down that end. Heaps of them. Stay still. But yeah, beautiful beach. Beautiful beach. And this, of course, is Mission Beach, and we're now on our way south, coastal. I'm thinking seriously of coming out here Tuesday when the rugrats have pissed off back to school, and having a little fish off this wharf. There's that bird again. Excuse me, are you a rare bird?
I'm the red top bird.
The red what?
Red top bird.
Red top bird?
Red top bird.
Rectum bird?
No, not rectum. Red top bird.
Red
Tip.
top, red top bird. Oh my God. So there you go. Bicton Hill. Just think this might be a nice little spot to go for a fish. I'm going to go for a walk out the end there now and just see what it's like, and then maybe Tuesday I'll wet a line for the first time since I left home. Well, there you go. The sign says it all. And that's where we're heading off to. Tully is rather a very small place. The main town is down to your left there, which we'll be going shortly. And we're here now at the information centre.
And it's the wettest place in Australia. It gets, I'm trying to think how much. It's nearly 44 centimetres of rain a year here. And their highest one-day average for rain here was over 5 inches.
Thank you, Professor Warren. Now, let's go and have a look at the sugar mill tour. Okay, bye.
It's essential you listen to the following safety message and induction before you enter the factory. Firstly, you must be appropriately dressed in suitable clothing, including closed-in shoes and upper garments with sleeves. The tour guide has provided you with safety vest and helmet. If you do not wear prescription glasses, you will also be provided with safety glasses. This personal protective equipment is to be worn at all times during your tour. Sunglasses and caps are not permitted. Your tour guide will also supply you with hearing protection, which is to be worn in designated areas. If you have any pre-existing medical condition, please notify the tour guide before you commence your tour. For example, mobility problems, heart, asthma, and vertigo. The following are some general instructions to ensure you and your fellow visitors can safely enjoy your factory experience.
Go and cut closer to the ground. So an average cane cutter for a day would cut 10-ton cane. So and what they did, they then had cut the cane. They took importable rails into the paddocks. They loaded them up onto trucks as so, and then was taken out by horse and cart, by horse and a couple of horses, and take the trucks out. With that, it went onto our railway system and then was brought into the mill.
Excuse me, Taylor? Anyone Taylor? Surname Taylor?
Me, yes.
These gangs that were cutting the cane, there was 300 to 400 people gangs. They have come from European descent, and back in, I think it was 1934 when they made that, when they had that
Strike?
strike.
39.
Yeah, 39, wasn't it? Yeah. In 39 they had the strike. The cutters went on strike and bought the mill to a halt. What they were striking for was they wanted the rights to burn cane. So by burning the cane, they would burn the trash and weeds that were in amongst the paddocks. Not only that, I'm going to put this lady by the cutter. Not only that, dangerous snakes. We have a lot of dangerous snakes in the mill, plenty of venomous snakes. Bees, and also rats. Rats was one of the main things they wanted to get rid of, because rat urine carries a disease called leptospirosis, or lepto. So if they got in their cuts or anything that they had on their hands, they could then get lepto, and it was fatal.
If only you could smell this. Let's see what's going on here. come back from Tully, from the sugar mill tour, and this is South Mission Beach, about 5 kilometres from Mission Beach. This is a beautiful beach, this one. I think it's nicer than Mission Beach. Much nicer than Mission Beach.
The first one that we had to deal with in 1986 was Cyclone Larry. And this was 2006. 2006. There's Anita the Bat Girl. She's tracking bats everywhere, and she puts little radio trackers on those tube noses and everything. Yeah, finding out a lot actually. Excellent. Yeah. But this was a 6-year-old block of rambutans, and they got mostly blown out of the paddock after that amount of time, and I was the wrong or right side of 50 depending on which way to look at it at that time, and I thought it wasn't a good business plan to get trees blown out after 6 years and lose a lot. So Alice and I went down to, when in trouble, go to Victoria. Went to Victoria and hired a car and went across to Adelaide looking at different stuff, and we were at this farm. That's Rocky Varipodio, 600 acres, 10,000 tonne of stone fruit a year near Shepparton area. And the penny dropped and or the light bulb came on, we said we've got to try this trellising. That's the open Tachira where you can walk down the middle. So we bit the bullet, ordered the poles, the wire, and I've learned over time, I'm 63 now, and I've learnt that you don't tell people. If you've got a new idea, be careful who you tell, because a lot of people will find out why it won't work for you. And they put doubt in your mind. So you just sail into the deep end and do it, which is what we did, and we still get some knockers, but we'll decide whether it's good or bad. This tree above, you see these pods here?
Yeah.
It's called an ice cream bean. From the Amazon again, but that possum that I showed you in the shed that we caught, the black and white striped possum, they really like these. So it's hard to get one. And in summertime it's good, because you see pythons will just lie in the tree where they know possums are coming in all the time, and they keep them under control. But it's too cold for the pythons now. Hard to believe that, really, but
That's good.
it is.
Not keen on
And so the possums have free run. The old stone axe on a ridge up the top, and it could be potentially up to 50,000 years old. They've worked out different tribal groups, so these could be all different tribal groups, and could be 10,000 years difference. And to put the time thing into perspective, the scientist said the last ice age here, the peak of it was 18 to 20,000 years ago, and the sea was 100 metres lower, so the actual beach was out at the continental shelf now 60 kilometres out from Mission Beach. So this was a fair way inland, and this wasn't rainforest, it was mostly gum trees. It was a rock dryer. Some axes are different rock, some have a very Spartan handle mark on them. Some are slate, which is harder. The best axe material, I'm told, comes from Mount William in Victoria. It's really hard stone. Australia hasn't got good hard axe stone compared to Europe with flint. That one's really nicely made, but it's a pity it's at an old occasion with a steel implement, a rope go or something, but very well made.
Peter knows when he sees that different rock type that's not.
And the tip has to be cut off. I just found out last weekend I've got to cut the tip off, otherwise they won't flower. And then the flower buds come from these nodes, which I'm hoping will happen soon. They need a bit of chill. And then when the flowers come out, they hand pollinate them with a matchstick or something, or a toothpick. And then the vanilla pods fill out, and that's where you get your vanilla bean, as they call it. But that's vanilla, yeah. It grows really well here, but yet to see pods come on this vine. They also let them go to the ground like this one and take root in the ground, and then they take them back up and go down again to feed themselves.
So when you have a vanilla milkshake, that's what the vanilla comes from.
There's a couple of things here.
Sorry if I missed it, but did you plant all these, or most of them were on the farm?
No, we planted everything.
Yeah, okay,
I'll show you the one
Just
fruit
came here
tree that was
before.
on the farm when we bought it later on.
Yeah, cool. This fruit is from South America and it's called a sun drop. But for people who don't like sour fruit, I wouldn't taste it. And I wish we had some miracle fruit today. We haven't got any, but I'm amazed at how thin a stem that's got that holds the weight of that fruit.
Yeah.
Tiny little, but if you want to pass it around, it's they use it to make juices with a bit of sugar syrup and things like this, but it's one of those things that we need to use and learn to use better. They're often really bright orange, but look at that little thin stem.
To hold that weight.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you what this is. That's a milk fruit.
You'll taste a few first and last for the season this year, and this will be, you'll taste this one, which I hope it's alright. This is a fruit tree from the Caribbean, commonly called star apple or kamito, and it's a winter fruit. You can see all the little baby fruits on it of different sizes, and there's still flowers coming, but I found out fairly recently that from Sir David Attenborough, who's a real gem, as everyone probably knows, this tree has evolved in the understory of rainforests, and a trick it uses like durians do, it's got reflective leaves top and bottom, so any little bit of sunlight reaching through the canopy of the forest that gets down to those little star apple trees, they can bounce it within their canopy and get that sunlight for photosynthesis. I'm hoping this fruit is good.
They're a ripe one. That'll be the first one for the season, hey?
This is Alison's favourite variety called Caribbean, and it's a gold type.
Oh, wow.
So there's purple ones as well, but the purples don't taste as good. But I'm not sure. We've got to test fruit and taste them. Almost all varieties to see if they're
where
good.
these Caribbeans are. I'll have to
The way to go, eh?
Yes.
I know this fruit.
Oh, here's that fruit that was in the ice cream.
Yeah, it was on the
Star fruit?
No.
No.
These are a different fruit again. They're called canistel or yellow sapote.
egg fruit also.
Or egg fruit, quite a prolific crop at the moment, and you're in luck. Because we can taste it both fresh, and Alison does a really good dish with it.
I might pass around
More
the
traffic.
dip first. So the dip does have a little bit of chilli in it.
You want the dip first or the fruit first?
We're doing the dip first.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what I said, it's the boss.
So that's a really big one, which I've had in the fridge because it's ripe. And what happens if we don't pick them? They split and fall on the ground.
That's just fruit. I put it in the blender with juice of lime behind me, it's over this side, and just a splash of chili sauce, sweet chili sauce,
Sweet
and
chili
that's it.
sauce, yeah.
And what do you call them again, Pete? Because
Canistel or yellow sapote. Sapote means fruit in Aztec or something, so it doesn't. There's a
When
lot
you
of different
Google it, there's
sapotes
a lot on egg fruit, they call it egg fruit.
or egg fruit.
Because the flesh of it's like
And what was, sorry Pete, I just got it on video, what was the name of that again? Sorry, Amazon
custard apple or Rollinia deliciosa. It's a bit of a tricky one for us marketing wise because people expect a custard apple to be soft like Dan said, so they squeeze it or they wait it to go soft when it's too ripe.
Ah, yeah.
So this is ripe now because it's yellow.
That's right. That's amazing.
Huge, isn't it?
Just eat it like a... Yeah, they can get bigger than this depending on how good your soil is. Like Patho Plains, I'm not sure what the parent rock there, but it would be very ancient. But the best soil in the world comes from basalt. This rock here is certainly not basalt, but it does have a bit of a volcanic origin. A geologist told me that it's called grey whack or grey wacky, and it's formed by a undersea continental shelf, like there's one about 60 clicks off Mission Beach at the moment, where really fine silt just slides over the edge of a continental shelf undersea, and then it's compressed over time. It's reasonably good. It's got a bit of volcanic ash through it, because when you crack it in the sun there, rock here, it's got a fleck in it. I said that's from the volcanic ash that settled on the seafloor. It's not as good as basalt country, but it's better than granite. So it's pretty reasonable ground. So all this area from Mission Beach, and it goes right through to the Great Divide, and this is a very important corridor because it's the only connecting link of rainforest from the coast to the tablelands here. Daintree and that doesn't have it. So it's better rainforest than the other side of the valley, for instance. If you needed a handful of sand to save your life, you couldn't find it on this property. Whereas in the middle of the valley, it's nearly all sand because it's granite country. So the grey wacky, sometimes it's some of our blocks are very rocky. As you can see, the vegetation still doesn't mind, but it's hard to cultivate. But when we do cultivate, we're still one of the few professions that finds things by turning the soil, other than archaeologists, and we find things that remind us of people who've been on this land before us. Timber cutters or clearing the land with axes, and that's a brush hook. Early brush hook, and the axes are well sharpened, there's not much of a cheek on them. And the brush hook, that's an old one because it's a straight blade. This is the more current blade. That's a handle on that, and you use it for cutting through vegetation at arm's length. There's a lot of prickly things around. So these potentially could be 100 years old now, and maybe another 100 there'd be nothing left if we hadn't dug them up, because they're rusting out pretty fast. It looks like it's got water in it there. We use these game cameras to see who comes and goes, and they record different things. That's our local big male and female cassowary. And Dr. Chris Brown, everyone knows, Bondi vet, they did Mission Beach last week, and he said the mother cassowary, you got to watch out you don't get between the mother and the chicks. Somebody should roast him because...
Doesn't know anything.
He doesn't know anything if he says that, because the male sits on the eggs and raises the chicks.
And she runs
That's
off.
right. That's right.
She runs off with another bloke.
Multiple. Yeah. She shares herself around so the chicks can have different fathers on the one nest, and the father looks after the eggs and raises the chicks. He should know that. Sometimes you get some pretty lumpy big boars like that fella. Oh. He spotted the camera. Oh. And sometimes, this is our old trap type, which is cassowary proof, but you can see a good mob of pigs there hanging around just before Christmas a couple of years ago, just up the track there. And then pretty much the same time, you can see the trap door in this one's shut, and it's full of pigs in the trap, and there's two boars fighting outside that came in later. And we've gone to a new trap. This is the first prototype, and the idea is the pigs have been in here today. I put that corn in there freshly this morning about 10:30, and the bananas, and you see little tracks everywhere. So Warren's going to set it, I think, Monday night. And the free feeding time takes a while. You can see that sow there. The little ones are in there, and the sow's wary of going in the box trap because it's totally alien, and the pig's the smartest animal on four legs. So we worked on this concept, and I have no problem thinking like a pig, really. So pigs only have danger from the ground. They don't fear anything from above, so if they can see through the other side and it's not blocked in, they're quite happy to walk in here. So that's why we went to the circular trap that drops down. The other big winner is We've already caught 7 in this in a fairly short time. The other thing is it's not touching the ground except for one 80mm galvanised pipe in the middle, so it doesn't rust out. See, if this is sitting in the mud in the wet tropics, you've got to build a new trap in a short time, so it doesn't rust out. And they just push, when we actually arm it, which is not armed at the moment, it's just free feeding, then they push that a little bit to the side, the whole lot drops down. That's a mob. We've already caught two of those black and whites.
Oh, right.
And somebody said, do we relocate them? Yes, we do, via the coal room. We cut them up with a bandsaw after 5 days, which is the English tradition, hang a pig for 5 days, and it's the best pork you'll ever eat.
Oh.
Because it's free range organic, tastes like a cross between beef and lamb, and it's really nice. We get the neighbours over. When we get pigs, we say, yeah, we're going to do some pigs, and so
everyone's your friend when you got pigs.
The taste is exquisite, and people ask about worms and that, but I've been eating them since I was about 19 and haven't died yet, so I think it's pretty good as long as you cook it well. And most countries in the world, it's a delicacy, and Australian wild pigs are exported to other countries, so yeah.
We're checking out the lovely town of Innisfail. Innisfail is about 50k from Mission Beach. And the art and decor in Innisfail is unbelievable. It's in the 1910s, 1930s. And that's what Elizabeth's checking out now in the town. And this building is the Johnson Shire Hall, Johnson Shire Council, 1910. Look at the town, lovely Innisfail, very old town. Saw what we just saw.
This is Etty Beach, and driving along, sign saying cassowaries in this area, and Dad and I thought, yeah, right. Next thing, there was one crossing the road.
Isn't this glorious? Tropical Queensland at its finest. The blue waters of Etty Bay. Glorious spot, and there's a park right on the water here. That's the water, that's the park. It doesn't get better. Oh, where's he gonna go? Down? Right where he wanted to go. Look at that. Unbelievable. I hope we got that on video. I don't know. Is that it? Here's some more coming. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, they're coming from everywhere. Look, diving school. Oh, look at this fella. You watch him come down. They just drop straight, don't they? Oh, he's in trouble. Straight out. Whoa, look at that.
That's what the blue flag is.
What's the blue flag? Oh, it is too. That's the drop zone. Holy mackerel. Oh, geez, I'm a long way, isn't he? Oh, wow. This is the last one because I'm cutting out a video. Unbelievable. Come down, baby. Wowee. There you go. Well, today is Tuesday and it's our last stay here at Mission Beach. And we're going to go for a walk on the beach. Our first time since we left on our big trip. There she is. And we're going to walk along this beautiful beach right to the end to get the famous Tuskers fish and chips. The across there that you can see, only across the road, is Dunk Island. That's Dunk Island, people. And there you go, the wonderful Mission Beach. And tomorrow we're off to Townsville.